For why the elite of today is not as smart as they used to be. And it's not really good for everybody else, too, because the elite are running the Western countries and, they're competing with the rest of the world and all this type of stuff. I don't like it when our guys on the top are really stupid sometimes. And I want to say there's an actual reason for it, and it's the education system. Because the education system's turned into a big money racket. Basically, everybody passes now. That's the deal. I'll give you some examples. Yale Law School in New Haven, Connecticut. It's considered widely regarded as the top law school in the United States. It doesn't have regular grades anymore. Just honors, pass, and low. And fail, and almost nobody fails. So pretty much everybody gets a pass. And that's it. You passed, and you paid the bucks, you did some studying, you passed. So it's not like you're some super brain to get out of Yale Law School. I guess it's difficult to get in there, but I bet you it has a lot more to do with money connections than anything. Harvard Law School, Cambridge, Massachusetts. Harvard Law School does not require traditional letter grades. So, no more A, B, C, D, E, F. E. There's no E, but whatever, D minus F. 8% of the students in each class used to be required to get a low pass. They call it low pass, right? But in the end of 2009, that policy was abandoned. So practically everybody gets a pass. So you went to Harvard Law School, everybody thinks you're a brain, But if you got the money, you're going to do some studying, you're going to read, you're going to compare notes, you're going to pass. Doesn't mean that this is the best and the brightest that's running the country now. It's a big difference between the old school and the new school. Georgetown University Law Center, Washington, D.C. They adjusted its grade policy in 2009 prior to change. Prior to 2009, 10% of law students received an A, 15% received a A minus. Now practically everybody is above B. Practically everybody. So that's the other thing. Columbia Business School, New York, New York. At Columbia Business School, students can receive high honors, high pass, low pass, fail, or incomplete. But pretty much nobody fails. It is a non-disclosure policy from the school on a GPA. So they won't tell employers what happened. So basically, everybody passes and you got out, you got through, and that's it. Harvard College, Cambridge, Massachusetts, Harvard. It consistently sits up top the U.S. News and World Report's college ranking list. It sits like, it's number one and all this stuff. In June 2000, a record 91% of the Harvard undergraduate students graduated summa, magna, or cum laude. 91%. So 8 out of 10 Harvard students graduate with honors, with nearly half receiving A's in their courses. So, you know what I'm saying? Money is paying for the grades. If education is important, there has to be a real substance behind it. This almost reminds me of making cheap quality steel and saying you have steel and it doesn't hold up as well. It's almost that type of deal if I want to put a simplistic example out there. But the metal is not the same, right? The metal's not the same. It looks the same. It's just not the same. The metallurgy is not the same throughout. It's got cracks. It's got flaws. And that's what's going on with the education system for the elite. College of Brown University, Providence, Rhode Island. The undergraduate school at Brown, 2/3 of the grades given to undergraduate students are A's as of 2010. So 66.6% of them, 2/3, whatever the hell it is, got A's in 2010. College of Brown University, Providence in Rhode Island, another prestigious college. Now Yale College, not the law school, the college. The undergraduate school at Yale University inflates grades. 62% of the grades awarded to Yale undergraduates are A or A minus. And 40 years ago, only 10% were in that range. Now it's 62% in that range, A or A minus, compared to 40 years ago, which had 10% in that range of A to A minus. So, what's the deal here, And I can imagine, I'd almost think, too, that even to get through to school or even to get into school was probably harder back then. So it's like rot throughout the system. This is bad news because I'm not really anti-elite, but I'm anti-dumb elite. That's really what it is. Stanford University, Stanford, California. Although Stanford has regular grading policies like you have A, B, C, D, F. There are no F grades. Excuse me. There's no F grades. You only have A, B, C, and D. And there is also grade inflation is very common. The chart in Stanford in 1917, the GPA was 2.48. Now the GPA is 3.55. But I guess even that doesn't tell the whole story because probably it was much more difficult to even get to 2.48 probably in 1917 as it is to get to 3.55 in 2005. So, it's almost like the quality is just not there. The name is still there. The quality is not. And education's just turned into a big money racket system. This is bad news because actually I'm pro-Western. I don't really have nothing against the elite. But if they're good scammers and stuff, they supposedly should be scamming from my side. That's one way I'd tolerate them a little bit. But if they're bumbling idiots, I don't really want them as my elite any way, shape, or form. But unfortunately, I don't think these yo-yos probably run the country. It's probably the mafia anyway. So the mafia standards are still there. So because there is no school, it's a school of hard knocks, street savvy, and boneheads out of Yale. They'll still don't understand that, right? Right, George.